Hello again, everyone. Ambassador Terry over at Consortium with another What Are You Doing Year 3 interview. And I have a very interesting person, I must say, Lisa Gable, former U.S. ambassador, is here with us. Welcome, Lisa. I'm so happy you can make it.
Thanks for having me. I so appreciate your reaching out.
The pleasure is all mine, I'm sure. Ladies and gentlemen, here it comes. Lisa Gable, what are you doing?
Well, I'm thrilled that in last October, I had the opportunity to launch my first book, Turnaround, How to Change Course When Things Are Going South. And it became a Wall Street Journal and USA Today bestseller. And it's also received a number of book awards. And first and foremost, I have to thank all of my readers because I would not be in that position without you all reading my book and sending me your beautiful notes about how you've been able to use the book. I was encouraged to write it by my publisher who contacted me actually in March of 2020 and said, you really need to write a book about turnarounds. You've done them in business, government, and philanthropy, which is unusual. And as we're coming out of COVID, I think that everybody in all of those different sectors are going to need tips and tricks and tools that they can also deploy. So I wrote the book looking at my experience over the last 40 some odd years, and I put forward a 4-step method. First is visualize the future. Don't fix what's there. Start from scratch if you need to. The second step is break down the past. Look at the things that have been working and those that haven't been working, get rid of them. Third, form a path from your past to your future. And what that means is starting to rank and rate things, really starting to prioritize, identifying what's job one, what's that one thing you must do in order to survive and thrive. And finally, you'll be in a position to execute with speed, confidence, agility, and heart. And what I mean by that is by forming partnerships. I don't think we can do everything ourselves. No one company can do it all. No one organization can do it all. It's really by linking arms with others that we'll be successful. I was excited to have a moment to write all of these ideas down because I'm entering my third stage of life. And here's what I mean by this. In January, I announced my retirement as the CEO of a medical research organization. And I said, well, I'm entering my third stage. And people said, well, what the heck does that mean? And I had to think about it for a second because it was clear to me. Stage one was my credentialing phase, right? It was getting my degrees at top tier institutions, undergraduate and graduate degree, while at the same time I was working at the Reagan White House and Defense Department, and then moved on to Intel Corporation. So getting those credentials you needed from top tier institutions. So phase two for me was really leveraging all of that experience to help organizations move to a higher level of performance. Stage three is now taking that plethora of experience with which I've been blessed. And I will underscore that I have been so blessed with the experiences that I've had to empower the next generation of leaders who are solving complex problems. And so I do that as a distinguished fellow at the School of Engineering at SMU in Dallas, Texas. I also am writing for 3 different magazines regularly: CEO World, where I'll be writing about business leadership, and you can find my columns there. Sway, where I've recently launched a new series called Stand and Deliver. And what I'm doing is interviewing amazing women that I've known through my life. In fact, I just wrote an article to launch the series with a businesswoman from Ukraine that literally, as she was fleeing the country, I connected with her during the first 90 days of the Russian invasion. And she was setting up partnerships with European women and American businesswomen to ensure that the women she had gotten to know through LinkedIn had opportunities to continue their careers no matter where they landed, with the goal of bringing those careers and those businesses back to the Ukraine. I also write with the Diplomatic Courier, and that's where I have the opportunity to talk about multi-sectoral solutions, because again, we can't solve all these problems by ourselves. It really does take partnership between government, business, and philanthropy, public-private partnerships, aligning resources, ensuring that we are all operating towards the same goal. And most importantly, it's making sure that we loosen up on what I call the how-tos. Right now, we're struggling. Our economics are complex. We have geopolitical unrest. We have economic challenges that we're all facing, supply chain challenges. And so people need to have some flexibility. Businesses need more flexibility than ever. because they're ready and they're primed to provide solutions. In fact, I was writing today about some of the greatest innovations in biopharma, medically tailored meals, nuclear energy. We have the solutions that we need. And I hope that you'll follow me through lisagable.com, also on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn, because what I'm trying to do is elevate those solutions, mentor the next generation of people during my third phase of life, in identifying ways that we can come together, solve the problems, and really develop something that is an economic prosperity that benefits people at all ends of the economic spectrum.
Amazing, amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who have my consortium business model for the 21st century, does that ring a lot of bells for you? Yeah, she's not in my book, though, I got to say. Thank you, Lisa Gable. I knew this was going to be fabulous, and it most definitely was. And I thanks again for being here, and good luck on you. Oh, and I've got some links in the comments below, ladies and gentlemen. So again, thank you for being with us.
Great. Thanks so much for having me.
Consortium, the business model for the 21st century.